What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Throttle Talk. And on this episode of the podcast, we're going to be covering the Singapore Grand Prix. It was a pretty underwhelming race, right? So, what do you have to say about it?
I mean,
Yeah, especially after Baku, it seemed nothing in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
we have been having so many
Yep.
good races lately with like a solid fight at the front that this seems a bit underwhelming. But to be fair, in all honesty, it wasn't too bad also.
Yeah, and I don't think we expect a Singapore GP without a safety car. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why I don't think fans enjoyed it as much.
Yeah,
I
No one
mean, yeah, still,
expected turn one to go like proper clean also. It was
yeah.
very surprising.
yeah,
And obviously,
And a
you
lot.
take the race as the weekend, you have to take the whole weekend, as I say. Quali was pretty good actually. I think
Mm-hmm.
uh, we expected a fight between Ferrari and this thing, McLaren, but I think Ferrari bottled it a bit, in all honesty. McLaren won in the fight, but I think Leclerc should have been on pole with the way practice went.
I think yeah, Ferrari did dig their own grave with Sainz crashing in the out lap, not even the push lap. So I think mix of cold tires and dirty air is what he said. But yeah, I think that those kind of things happen. And then because of Sainz's crash, Shah, and I think a lot of drivers did not get a chance to get their best laps out there. So that's why we did see a mixed quali like Hulkenberg in sixth out of nowhere. Then Shah getting, unfortunately, having only one lap and getting his time deleted. So 9 and 10 for Ferrari.
I feel Sainz tried to be a little over smart, tried to get the toe down the main straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you guys feel Lando just had the pace over the rest of the field the whole weekend, or do you think he would have still qualified on pole if Ferrari do?
If Ferrari were completely on their game and Leclerc didn't have, I mean, not his lap disqualified, but if they were completely on their game, I think that he had potential to be on pole. 100% not science, but Leclerc had potential.
Yeah. Leclerc's pace
Yep.
is.
Yeah,
Ferrari
I
had
think
like a phenomenal practice too. They had their pace like all three practices, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
But them qualifying ninth and 10th was like a punch in the gut. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Solid. Because of the
yeah.
Ferraris messing up and Checo getting knocked out in Q2, some midfield drivers had solid qualifyings like Yuki and obviously Hulkenberg, as Agastya said.
Yeah.
Then Alonso, really good
And
seventh.
not to don't forget the two Williams. I mean, they had a solid qualifying.
11th
I
and
think it
12th.
was what 11th and 12th. Yeah, it was like really good for them. Unfortunate what happened with Albon, but I think Franco drove phenomenally and even defended Perez for most of the race. Great drive by him. So point to be noted. And also Albon was the car with the upgrades this weekend, and Franco
Mhm.
doing almost at par with him was a really good sign for him.
He's outqualified him, if I'm not wrong. Oh, no, 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 no.
No, he did not.
No,
No,
just
it was
one to
very close though.
one.
In spite of very close in spite of the car without the upgrades.
Yeah. I
But
was,
the saddest story from qualifying is probably Ricardo coming P17 and his teammate P8. And I think this was like a do or die race for him as well.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
Yep.
guess he died.
The narrative.
And a lot of drama with Ricardo even off track as well. So, I mean, obviously, everybody has seen the clips of his press conference after that,
hmm
after the race. I mean, but yeah. Any opinions on
Everyone
that
is
from
see,
already
you?
counting him out.
Hmm?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not confirmed yet. So, but I feel the way
yeah,
he's been speaking also, it's about to happen. I mean, the way he started almost crying,
I
saying he's gonna miss the paddock and the cockpit. I think that's just
Hmm.
that the announcement's about to come.
yeah, and he's been dodging and weaving around these questions the whole weekend, and I think a lot of the fans and I think the whole grid knows and Paddock knows that he's probably not going to be driving for Austin as
Hmm.
well. But I think it's something for VCAP to lose, honestly, because they will lose a lot of sponsors for the next season. And also, Ricardo was not doing that bad of a job, to be honest. He was obviously not at par with Yuki, but to be fair, if Perez is not losing a seat and Ricardo is, I don't think that's completely fair. Maybe at least given him some time till the end of the season, but I think these kind of things just happen. You can't really do much about it.
In my
Mhm.
opinion, last year, the few races Lawson did, he was a little stronger than Yuki. So if you have
Yeah,
the option of a driver who is stronger than Yuki, why would it make sense to take someone who's a little bit weaker?
yeah, I agree with that too. I think Lawson is a good option, but maybe it's should given Ricardo a little bit, like at least till the end of the season, right?
Yeah.
Because let's be fair, if he's leaving Red Bull week up this season, he's probably not driving next season, and it's very unlikely to see him in the future. It's probably the end of the
I
road for
mean,
him.
don't count him out. It's not confirmed yet. You see.
Yeah.
But on the note of press conference that you said, do you think Max's behavior during the press conference was immature or mature? Or
It's
what
okay.
do
He
you
didn't
think?
say anything wrong. It
It
wasn't too.
was a little immature, according to me.
Hmm.
I mean,
But
look, if you would have really said something so bad, it would have been a bigger thing. Like, at the end of the day, he didn't really cross any line. Like, these words are said when they're in the car as well. So, I don't think it's too bad in my opinion.
True.
I think the FIA is
I
just
don't
overly.
think. Yeah.
They're trying to overly PG this sport now, and I don't think there's any point. You might as well just bleep out those words. I don't know why it matters. But I
Because,
think what he did was a little extra. He didn't have to do that.
and even
mhm.
have that F1 kids thing also. So, I don't
Yeah.
know what's the point.
That's true.
Already censoring it, what's the point of like giving fines and all for this? Okay.
See, it's. I think it's a sport end of the day, right? And I think, as I think even Max mentioned this, if I'm not wrong, all athletes do feel this, and they probably are saying the same things, but it's just not televised because at that point they're not with a microphone and a camera on their face. So
Yeah.
I don't think what FI did was the right thing. Maybe a warning would have been sufficient, but community service, I think, being in Singapore also could be a reason.
Yeah.
This is interesting. That's all. Yeah.
Speaking about Max, I feel he had a solid quali. Like obviously
Yeah.
he was the big benefiter apart from the midfield drivers for the this thing, the Ferrari bottle. But I do feel he did have the pace to at least beat Sainz. I'm not sure about Leclerc. And even the Mercs,
Hmm.
they're really solid. They also benefited a lot.
Yep. They quali 3 and 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
I mean,
boy.
I
Or at
was
least
hoping
fourth
they
number
could
in the
turn
race.
that into at least a podium,
Yeah.
but yep.
I think that was unlucky strategy by for Hamilton especially. I
Hmm.
don't think they should have quitted that early in the race. I mean, I'm sure they had their reasons, but I think that was a little too early. I think Hamilton also stated that while he was driving. But yeah,
This also
this
a
I think they
gamble.
just learn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the tire was never a certainty to last a long time and all. I don't know why they took that risk. It was a total gamble. They thought that they'll make, I think, a few places, maybe go up to P1 also in like turn one, and it totally didn't work out. Nothing happened with the tire. Totally messed up.
They
yeah,
gambled on an early safety car in all honesty. And
Hmm.
yes.
didn't happen, the race was bound to fail. I
I
think
think a lot of drivers were looking for that, including Norris and Verstappen, because they both were trying to play the waiting game. But ultimately, I think Verstappen was struggling, so he had to box first.
Mhm.
I mean no one was
Yeah,
beating
actually.
the pace he had. He was looking like a bit on a different planet in the race. But even in quali he was there, but he didn't have that type of pace over everybody else.
I think Lando won with like I think 21-second gap, right?
Yeah, yeah,
21 or
22,
Yes,
21,
something.
something
that's
like that. Yeah.
22.
And the gap
And he,
between
I think,
Verstappen to
had.
Piastri, it was like 40 seconds or something. That
But
was also like a big gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, Piastri was
And
also
see,
an underperformer this weekend. I mean, not the
yeah.
race, the quali.
that
Mhm.
I feel
No matter.
even in the race because he had to make a few moves, but
Yeah.
still finishing 41 seconds behind Lando is like it's almost like 6 to 7 tenths a lap.
So,
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it was I think, not a strong weekend for Piastri because I think he could have done a lot more than McLaren in terms of race pace and quality. but I think it's okay because he still got P3. He could have eventually gotten to P2, but I think he just didn't have the pace, and the team also did tell him not to push towards the end, just to bring it home. Also, I think don't want to mention this, but Lando did bottle the lead, I think almost twice. One time being while lapping a car.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So I'm not sure what he was going through his head, but to be fair, Singapore is a hard race mentally and physically. So towards the end, drivers will find it hard. So I think
Mhm.
so.
yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah.
because on the point of races, there's one thing I wanted to say. Daniel Ricciardo getting the fastest lap in the last, that was something
Mm.
crazy, right? With the car he had, the qualifying he had, I didn't expect him to have that type of pace.
Yeah.
But the way he pushed in the last, and Lando was also going for it, right?
Yeah.
But the way
And
he swooped it over was crazy.
the effect of
See,
the
yeah.
I think now Verstappen can't lose the championship if he finishes second in all the remaining races and sprint races.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, that's all the
Yeah,
notable.
but yeah, that's
That's
all
all the
good.
notable stuff that happened in quali. Let's go on to the race. The first thing that happened in the race was, I think, the first major thing was Colapinto's massive dive bomb. I don't
That
know
was
why Albon was complaining for that. Actually, that was crazy. Three cars he overtook in the
four
first few.
or five, I think. It was really like the track is really wide, so I think there were a lot of cars on
Yeah,
outside.
I think it
Mm.
was 4 or 5. Yeah, as Akshay mentioned. I think it was just Albon crying about it, but I think it was a phenomenal move. He was at the apex too. That it was a good move by him.
Yeah.
Crazy how he stuck there. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And obviously his teammate lost out because of that.
Hmm.
And I don't know for what he has DNF, but he's had a DNF.
No, there was some issue in the, I think the vent or something.
If it was,
Yeah, he had an engine overheating issue. It
Yeah,
could
so
be due to some plastic bag or some other issue. The vent, as we mentioned.
He quit on lap 18 or something, no? Like he quit very early on.
Mm.
yeah.
And also Colapinto like performing like that on a second race on the team. I
uh,
think that's mental. Third, yeah, okay. It's mental, but like, yeah.
yeah, he almost scored points. Like that would have
Mhm.
been a really solid weekend because he's come into the team 2 weekends in a row and performed at Albon's level, or in fact a little bit ahead of Albon. And I feel he was a bit unlucky also. He was there and thereabouts with Checo and Hulkenberg for the fight for P9.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking about Checo, like a horrible weekend, like 10th while your team is
Mhm.
finishing second, and he's 20 seconds ahead of third place is really bad.
Yeah. Hulkenberg
I
had a
think that
pretty good
was
actually, now that I think about it. What is it, P4 or something? No, P6. P6.
P6 and quali P9 in the race.
quality.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was very
the Haas car is looking strong now. Obviously, last weekend Behrman scoring points and or a
Mhm.
point, but this weekend obviously Magnussen being there, and I think he's just not sitting well with the car at the moment. It's not working out for him as well as it was for Behrman. I think solid result for Haas in that way.
Mhm. I mean, solid result for Haas from Hülkenberg, but like K-Mag, I think DNF, right? Or what is the cause for
Mhm.
that?
Yeah, he
He
just
had
put
a puncture, and then I think, yeah, if I had a puncture initially, they boxed him. He got new set of tires, but then I think it was just general. It was not worth fighting in the end. So I
yeah,
Yep.
he was
think
just too
that's
far
why.
back, nothing to fight for, didn't make any sense really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then obviously the Ferrari is coming back through the field. Also, I think that affected Hulkenberg. He probably would have
Mhm.
scored some more points if not for that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So moving
So I
on
think
from
the
the
Ferrari
race.
had to be there. I think the Ferrari had to at least be in that position because let's face it, I think they had the second or third fastest car this weekend, and I don't think Red Bull. I think Verstappen did a very good job. I don't think it's completely Checo. I think it's a mix of both. Checo not having a great race and Verstappen having an amazing race for what he has with that car. Because you can see if you saw the results in FP1, FP2, they were like down that struggling. They were, I think, definitely the fourth fastest out of the top four,
Yeah.
and they
Mhm.
found pace only towards the end of free practice three and then in quali. So
Yeah.
I think it was just a mix of Max doing an amazing job and Checo not doing that great.
And even I feel Merck was they just lost a lot of space going from quali to the race.
Yeah,
And especially I feel Hamilton they messed up with a lot. Russell not much.
yes,
But that's kind of a regular occurrence also every week that we see.
Yeah.
Mhm. But like the only reason, I mean, we talked about this early on in the podcast, but like the marks, I think they got lucky in the qualifying, but because of the strategy messing up the strategy and like also the race, I don't even think they had like that much pace this weekend. They were like decent, but I don't think they had enough pace to make it onto the podium.
So what you're saying is like they picked up.
So,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So moving on to the top three, obviously we had Piastri who we spoke about really struggling. Solid weekend for Max and Lando absolutely dominating the race.
Hmm.
Let's get on to our predictions with
And
Okay, let's start off with our winners and losers. So
Hmm.
Akshat from all the way in Chennai said that the winners would be RB and the losers would be Red Bull.
um, both are wrong.
No, both are wrong.
I think both are horribly wrong.
Yeah,
So that's
I can't even argue this time.
yeah. There's
yeah.
nothing I can
I
say.
think if you're done, I think a bit opposite might have been somewhat right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I
Yeah,
could have gone opposite road, definitely. I could have gotten the point
yeah,
for RB maybe.
Yeah.
yeah. Could have.
Okay.
Next, Anurag
Hmm.
said Ferrari would be the winners and Sauber would be losers.
So Sauber's
Uh,
losers. We can't give him a
How I still don't get why we took Sauber as a loser as an option.
plus
Yeah, that
yeah,
was a safe bet.
Sauber's the
that's never wrong.
give them losers is if they don't show up for the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you people are just being salty, but like that was a safe bet.
But
Okay.
So what, do we give him a point? Do we give him a point and a half?
I think you
See,
should.
let's be honest. When you say a loser,
Ferrari,
when you when you say a loser about a team, it's when they perform worse than what they're doing. They're already bad. They can't go like P22 out of
Yeah.
P20.
Okay, next we have Agastya's predictions, which was the winners to be RB and losers to be Aston.
oh,
Oh no.
winners.
Winners were definitely right.
Oh,
I mean, Aston Martin, they're in their own fight at the moment. They're not really fighting anyone. And
Hmm.
I didn't expect Stroll to do well. He has finished where he generally finishes, 14th, 15th. Hulkenberg also had I mean, not Hulkenberg, Alonso had a okay weekend. He scored 4 points, but I think he's just always there picking up the scraps of the top four teams.
I wouldn't say they're complete
yeah.
losers though.
Yeah, they're most definitely not the losers.
Yeah, I don't agree. I'll just. I don't think they're the losers because they still got the points. Right?
Yeah.
Alonso
Okay,
still
so
did what he was.
we don't give Agastya anything. Oh wait, so do we give Anurag 1 or 1.5 or 2? What?
Can't track anything.
Two, 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 two,
Why is
two.
he getting one?
See, the rules
No, no,
were
no.
unclear.
The
Okay, the
Ferrari
rules
as
were unclear and
winners.
I played it.
He
Ferrari,
said Ferrari would be winners.
Ferrari is losers.
Winners. Okay, lastly, it's
Okay.
me. I said
Mm-hmm.
Perez would be a winner and Sainz would be a loser. I think I get a point for Sainz.
Yeah, I can see it, but
Hmm.
Okay.
There's no way you're saying otherwise, bro. Qualified P10. Okay, there's no way you're saying otherwise.
teammate just outqualified him by one place actually.
That's just unlucky because his lap got
Fair enough.
retuned.
Yeah.
Can give you the point for science. Most definitely not for Perez.
Yeah, that I agree.
Yep.
I thought he would pull some uh, street stuff that Perez does normally.
Okay.
It didn't work out.
What are our predictions for the top
So moving on. Wait.
It did quality predictions also.
Paulie Agastya said it would be Lando Charles Piastri.
Okay, he gets 1 point. Not bad.
Lando Charles Piastri, yeah, he gets a point.
Yeah.
Okay.
He gets a point for that. Uh, Anurag said Charles Lando Oscar. 0. That's nothing.
Oh shit! Do me and him have the same predictions again?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Not say predictions. Charles Lando Oscar. So that's 0.
Mm-hmm.
And I had Piastri Lando Charles. That didn't work out as
That is
well.
also 0.
Well, looking at it, only
Um,
Agastya's had a phenomenal weekend with qualifying and the team he
Yes.
supports. So
Yes. It's a good weekend for McLaren fan boys.
I think the race predictions are a little bit better for me. With
Mhm.
get on to the race predictions.
Let's
the
get to
race
my
predictions.
predictions and we'll see.
Agastya's race predictions. Oh my god. Okay, let's start off with Akshat. He said Lando Oscar Leclerc. That's 1.
Mhm.
That's a point. Okay. Then we have Anurag. He said Charles Lando Oscar, which
Mhm.
is basically his same like
Yep.
poly prediction. 0. Didn't work out.
Hey, wait. Oscar got P3. I get a point for that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad. Oscar by P3. Yeah.
Okay.
Next we have me. I said Lando Piastri Charles. I get a point for that.
Mhm.
Lastly, we have Agastya, who said Lando Max Piastri. Oh my god, what a crazy
That sounds so fake. That sounds so
What a clap.
What a
What a
win.
clap.
That was
We
like a lot of
have
applause for that.
What
we
are
have
the
proof for that.
So I clowned him when he said this. I seriously clowned him for this.
what are the standings looking like?
Agastya is leading by a lot.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
He
So-
made up like 4 to 5 points this weekend, bro. That's mental.
Yeah. Okay, so today Akshat got a point. Anurag got 2 points.
Okay.
Agastya got 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
And I got 2 points. Yeah. Okay, so finally, our final standings, cumulative of last times in the stand predictions.
Mm-hmm.
On in the bottom, we have me with 3 points. Not been good. Next, we have Anurag. Hey, don't laugh, da. You're 0.5 points ahead of me. You can't laugh. You can't laugh. Okay.
Bro, every point counts. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
That's not a point, so it's not every point.
Exactly.
Half a point also counts.
Okay.
To be fair, you got a point for Sauber. So.
It was pity. Okay. It was
Every
pity.
point.
Bro,
Yeah.
you're all just wait. You're especially salty because I'm above you. Okay. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
man.
Okay.
Okay, that's the starting of our podium, which is Anurag. Next year, Akshat, P2, 5 points.
Okay, that's
We
not
had a bad
bad round.
bad Singapore, but a good Baku.
Mhm.
Okay, then the top step, we have Agastya with 7 points, completely clutching up this round.
That's
Oh my
crazy.
God.
That race prediction is insane.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, he made most of his he made more points than both of us in his one race prediction, bro.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy. That's
It's
mental.
called ball knowledge.
Bro, shut up. Don't get
Feel
this
knowledge.
cocky also, okay?
You'll see. Let's see what happens towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay.
We'll look at it towards the end.
watch the comeback. Watch the comeback.
Yeah, I think
The Mud Boys are gonna get the top step again, bro. I'm saying that's all I'm saying.
I think Agastya is gonna win this championship, but more because he's gonna study every race. He's gonna go through
Yeah.
every session.
Past 5 years.
Yes.
See the
Speaking of
form
the
of the
tracks and the
drivers.
drivers.
Yeah.
But fair enough.
We give him props. Good
Yeah.
job.
New leader.
Bro.
But let's see what happens towards the end of the season. That's when it matters.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
I guess you have to just say that you might have the top step right now, but like the Mug Boys are on for it, bro. I'm just saying that the comeback is about to be real off track, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, we switching to Ferrari, and then we got you.
Yep, that's all.
From
So,
Lewis to
anyways,
Leclerc fans.
I think. Oh, yeah, you were saying?
From Lewis to Leclerc fans.
No,
Bro, no, we're
not
still
like
Lewis fans, bro. We're still Lewis fans.
yeah.
Lulu and Ferrari.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways,
All right.
I think it was a fun session. All of us had a fun. I got a Preston, but like it was fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Deserved.
yep. I wouldn't say so, but okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all of y'all like, share, and subscribe, and obviously come back for more. And hopefully you enjoyed. You can drop your next race predictions down in the comments below, and we'd like to go through them.
Yeah.
And obviously, have fun and come back for more.
Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.